For those
crazy,
listening, buckle up.
Why people should be using AI.
It just 10x's you. Like whatever you were able to do before, you can do it 10 times more, 10 times faster, and you're gonna fall behind if you're not adapting to use it right now.
AI is great, but you still have it's the person entering the prompt, because you don't want to just let this AI run loose because it's like Terminator and it'll take over the world. Is that something? If you thought your idea was just like out of this world crazy, like you can become a millionaire selling just about anything.
Yeah.
What's up, guys? Welcome back to the Winners Club podcast, where even when we don't win, we learn, and learning is a form of winning. Guys, I got a real special guest for you guys today. Well, we got two guests that you probably recognize one, but the other one's brand new. Okay. My name is Brian Trent. I'm your host. I got PJ Padua here as my co-host.
What's up, guys?
I got Mia Howe over there. She's also part of our production, part of the whole thing of making everything run. But she's super smart, so I needed her here because the guest that we have on is a genius. And with every genius, you got to have another genius so that I don't look very dumb. But I got none other than Sepehr Khosravi. And I hope I said your name right.
You got it. I'm happy to be here.
We got an award-winning instructor at Berkeley. AI platform engineer at Coinbase and founder of AI Scout. And he's going to talk about something today, guys, that I am so intrigued about, because I really do think that this is the future. I really do think that you no longer have to be super talented to build something great, and that is AI. And I think there's none other than you to teach us. Really, this is going to be for me. I'm not going to lie.
It's going to be
For
crazy,
those listening, buckle up, because I'm about to ask a lot of questions, and hopefully you get how my brain works and how we're going to capitalize on this opportunity to maybe build something with AI. Yeah. I've been trying to get into SaaS for a long time. I've been trying to get into some kind of software, but I'm dumb. I don't know how to use a computer. I don't know how to open up any of them software to create anything. So that's why I'm so excited to have you on.
Awesome. Let's get to it. Yeah. You're not too dumb to do it anymore. AI makes it so like anybody can do this stuff.
Perfect. Perfect. See, that's what I wanted to hear.
Well, welcome, Sepehr.
Yeah,
welcome.
Give us a little bit of your background, because I know you got a pretty cool story growing up.
Yeah. First of all, thanks for having me. A little bit about my background. I grew up in Irvine, and I went to community college right out of high school. And then 2 years into that, I dropped out. So I dropped out for roughly 2.5 years. My family owns a giant teddy bear business. So we sell giant teddy bears. We're one of the original brands. It's like 7 to 10 feet teddy bears.
Wow.
And yeah, my dad was originally a doctor, but when we moved to America, he decided, I don't want to do my residency again. Let me sell teddy bears.
Yeah.
So we started that. It was doing really well in 2017, 2018. It was top 5,000 fastest growing companies in America.
Wow.
And then we ran into this big scam that we kind of got hit with our manufacturer in China. So around that time, I decided to drop out of college and help out with the business. And then 2.5 years later, I decided to go back to UC Berkeley when the business was doing a little bit better. I majored in data science rather than business, because I just don't feel there's much value I would get from a business degree, having had hands-on experience doing it. So I wanted to learn more of the technical side, went into data science, ended up finding a department in Berkeley called SCET, which is a mix of entrepreneurship and technology. So everything I did was kind of at the intersection of those two. And the semester after I graduated, I was able to teach a course at UC Berkeley, and it did really well. And we won an award for we received the most votes for the top course of the semester.
Wow.
So then they brought me back on, and now I'm teaching a course called Gen AI Bootcamp, where we teach non-technical people how to launch their software product in just 5 weeks.
Wow.
Man, what a story, man.
Okay,
what
hold
a story,
on.
man.
All right. Well, he said a couple things that got me really excited. Number one, I did not know that you could make that much. Well, I don't know. What's teddy bears?
Yeah.
People buy giant. I mean, the only time I've ever seen a giant teddy bear was at Costco.
I've seen them, man. I've seen them. They're definitely viral and stuff.
Where, like that, back in 2017, I don't think I've ever seen teddy bears. Like, who were buying these? Like Toys R Us?
We were like the original giant teddy bear brand back when we were doing it. And the market for it is huge. It's a very seasonal business. So Valentine's and Christmas makes up more than half of your sales for like the year.
What is like the numbers on like a business like that, of like a teddy bear like commerce business?
Yeah, I think so. I think Vermont Teddy Bear is the biggest one, and I think they do around 20 million a year on teddy bears. So yeah, and we definitely have 7-figure years as well that we've done. So
that is crazy, guys. So you ever thought about, if you thought your idea was just like out of this world crazy, like you can become a millionaire selling just about anything.
Yeah.
But that's the first part. I didn't know that there was that kind of money in giant teddy bears. Do you guys do little teddy bears too, or just big ones?
We do little ones too, but big ones. People like.
Yeah, that's crazy, man.
That's kind of interesting. Like, all right, cool.
Yeah.
Next thing is this manufacturer. How do they scam you? So that I mean, how do we avoid that? Right? We want to learn so we can win.
Yeah. So long story, but what happened was we have been working with this manufacturer for a long time, like 10 plus years. And 1 year our goods came in, they were 30% effective. So you can tell like arms on the teddy bears are on backwards, eyes are missing, the red teddy bears are bleeding red onto everything.
Wow.
And it just completely killed our year, right? So we thought, okay, let's go ahead and partner up with another manufacturer. But when we went to have that conversation with the previous manufacturer, he told us, hey, you're the biggest person that I supply for. If you stop placing orders with me, my company is going to go bankrupt. So what I can do for you is I can forgive you for the last 2 installments that you have on the previous order. I'll cover that, but just place another order with me. I'll make it right so I can keep my business alive as well. So given he said that, and we have like the 10 years of history of working with him, we said, okay, place another order with him. This time it came back 70% effective, like just everything destroyed.
Wow.
Yeah. And it just completely, and during this time we had fully doubled our business size. So we had opened up another factory, the same size as our previous one. And we were doing a business for selling customized bean bags. So we had put all the investment, all the profit from the company into this other one company. And basically, as soon as that company launched, we had to shut it down and lost just like millions of dollars. On
The beanbag company?
The beanbag company. Because of this 70% effective good. So what happened there is that's when I decided to drop out and went with my dad to China to try to find a new manufacturer to work with. And we were there in China and we went to meet with the previous manufacturer one last time.
Yeah.
And he came into the hotel lobby and this guy gave me like bad vibes right off the bat. I went to shake his hand and he kind of like shook my hand and like dropped it. And yeah. And I was like, huh. And then my dad was like, oh, I'm just going to say bye to him. We're not going to have a meeting. Like go upstairs to the hotel room. I'll be right up. So I went up to the hotel room. It's around like 10 p.m. And I'm waiting for my dad to come up because I'll have the only key card.
Yeah.
And it's 11, 12, 1. He's still not there. I fell asleep. And then at 4 a.m. he calls me. He's like, come down and start recording. So I go down. I'm recording. They have like 7, 8 big Chinese dudes dressed in all black. And they're like not letting us leave.
What?
Yeah.
At the
straight
hotel?
out of a movie. Yeah. In the hotel lobby. Yeah.
Some rush hour shit, right?
Yeah. And then, so basically they had teamed up with we had a translator who we had also been working with for 15 years.
Oh.
And they like teamed up with her and kind of edited documents or whatever to like, now they were demanding the money that they forgave us for the previous installments of the first order. So not only did we lose all this money on these bad orders, now they're demanding that money too. And they weren't letting us leave. We wanted to call the police, but they just kept saying, call the police, call the police. And we're not familiar with Chinese laws.
Yeah.
But when the bad guy's telling you call the police, then it makes you feel like maybe I shouldn't be calling the police.
Yeah, for sure. Are they in on it too?
Yeah, exactly. So we didn't want to call the police, but then like we ordered a cab. They surrounded the cab, wouldn't let us get in the doors. So we ended up calling the police. I was on the phone with the embassy, whatever. Police made them leave. We ended up having to come in with a settlement with them to like pay the previous installments too, because they might have placed a hold on all of our orders if we didn't, even with another manufacturer from China, and that would have shut down our business because they would have been like, hey, this company owes us money, don't ship it out. But long story short, that really messed us up for the teddy bear business.
So what did you learn from that, and how and what were some of the key takeaways so that doesn't happen again?
Key takeaways so that doesn't happen again. I was younger when all this happened, so like not really my business. I was involved, but my dad's business.
But we can learn from it.
Yeah, we can definitely learn from it. I think, just be careful with who you trust and make sure you have all your documents yourself written down.
For sure.
Yeah, that's kind of the takeaway, I guess.
And that's like, so it seems like a unicorn situation too, because everything was going good for like X amount of years.
10 years. 10 years of relationship and then having them.
Yeah, I don't know. You never.
Did your dad ever meet him before, or is that the first time ever meeting the guy?
No. Just years we would go there. The translator one time like came to our house and like stayed with us for weeks, like as family. They were just so close. So it was just really out of the blue. I think my biggest takeaway is like with business, there's always a bit of luck involved. Like even if you do everything right and do everything wrong, things can happen, but you got to account for it. You got to have enough of a safety net so when the big things happen, you can cover for it.
And it sounds like you guys did have a safety net.
We didn't have a safety net because we reinvested everything into doubling the size of the business.
But then you guys the business is still around today.
So it's barely around. We're in debt right now, and we're like just fighting to kind of stay alive. But might be shutting down very soon. We'll see what happens.
Keep fighting.
Yeah, kudos pushing though.
We'll try.
You guys
We'll
pushing.
try.
I like it. I mean, I don't like what's happening to you, but I didn't expect this story to unravel, because when I hear this, I'm like, in my mind, I'm thinking, what do I do? Like, if I were in your shoes, what would I have done?
Yeah.
How would I have approached this? What's the checks and balances to power?
Yeah.
That's the thing. You can't put, in my mind, you can't put all your eggs in one basket.
Yeah.
And then you have to always make sure that you have, you can't just trust people fully.
Yeah.
In business, at least in business.
Yeah.
You know, and so, yeah, I'm shit.
Man.
That's terrible to hear. But
What a story, man. But man, guys, listeners right now, Sepehr.
did you guys like that? If you guys like that, you guys got to give this thing a thumbs up. That's a crazy story.
Yeah. Sepehr, man. I mean, this guy right here has done a lot of amazing stuff, but when it comes to business, he's been through some stuff, man. So I think you guys are in for a great story. But after that, man, like, what was kind of like your the first endeavor after all of that fiasco kind of happened?
Yeah. So that really changed me as a person. Like, I thought I knew what hard work meant until that happened, right?
Yeah.
Because that was happening. We couldn't even pay the bills for the house. I was working 3 jobs, like 100 hours a week up to, and yeah, so that really changed me as a person. So when I went back to school after that, I ended up taking 24 units over a summer, my first semester back.
Yeah.
And yeah, I just like, nothing felt hard after what
Yeah,
happened
for
there.
sure, for
Everything
sure.
else was just a lot easier after then. But yeah, I went back to community college, studied a semester there, and got all my credits done to transfer into Berkeley. And I was at Berkeley for a while. I interned at a few different companies like Coinbase, Tesla, and a bunch of other ones, but really involved with that SCET department that I was talking about earlier. And from there was able to get a teaching position the semester after I graduated.
Did you get scholarships to go to college?
I did not. No. Well, I didn't have much on my resume. I
Yeah.
was like barely just completing
Yeah.
my credits to transfer.
So are you in debt right now?
My family, yeah.
No. The, like college debt. Like, no.
Oh, no.
You paid it all off?
Because I mean, the silver lining on this was everything was negative for all of the years that I was going to college.
Yeah.
So I got fully covered.
Oh, that's good. That's good.
Financial aid. Yeah.
All right. Woo.
Yeah.
I'm just thinking like, dude, because that's another burden. So,
Yeah.
are you an only child?
I have a brother who's 14.
So, do you, like right now, like when all that was happening, did you feel like that the burden was on you to like? It sounds like it was.
I
But
mean,
how did you feel?
Yeah, it's been like the only focus in my life for the past few years. It's just like making enough money to like keep this alive and like try to help support my parents. So yeah, it's definitely been on my shoulders, but I also think it's just like the best thing that's ever happened to me. Like if I didn't go through that struggle, I wouldn't be doing what I am now. I'd just be chilling.
I kind of wanted to, that's what I'm kind of getting at. Like, you can look at the outcome like, oh, this sucks.
Yeah.
But I think if that didn't happen, you wouldn't have the drive you have today.
Yeah, 100%, 100%. I think it's the best thing that happened to me.
The best, worst thing that could have happened. Yeah,
exactly. Yeah.
Man, so I want to talk about like, how did this AI interest come to you? Like, were you always, because I know, people probably been working on AI before we even knew, before the AI boom. Like, was that you? Did it just, or was it like during the boom that you kind of were interested? Like, how did AI come into your lap?
Yeah. So I wasn't particularly interested in AI to begin with, but like I just want to win, right? I want to make money. I want to
win. Winners Club, baby.
And that was just where I felt the biggest opportunity was. So that's why I went there. Not that like I loved tech since I was a kid or something like that. And because I wasn't gonna do a business major, I thought, what's the next best thing? Let me get into tech. And then from there, it's just AI. It has been everything, right? And then especially in the past few months, there's some AI tools that have been coming out for launching software businesses that have made it easier than ever. And there's just like so much opportunity here, which is like what I tapped into and what I'm teaching at Berkeley now.
Yeah. Wow, that's awesome. Was it before the like Chat GPT boom that you got into AI?
I mean, I guess to some extent, but before the ChatGPT boom, AI wasn't as insane as it is now. So I was learning how to like create models, but more of like the technical stuff, not the business stuff. But it was after the ChatGPT boom where the business stuff really came into play.
Yeah.
Can I ask you, like, who are they now? There's DeepSeek, there's ChatGPT.
Yep.
There's how many are the?
There's a
who
lot
are the
of
big
ones.
ones.
I mean,
Gemini, Llama. There's so many.
Who do you recommend?
I don't think it matters that much.
Yeah.
Which one you
Cool.
use,
Yeah.
right?
I'm a ChatGPT guy, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah.
No.
Well, Sepehr, what do you feel like for you? What is like your best use of AI, like on your side? Like, what do you utilize AI for, in your operations?
Yeah. So for me, mainly, it's I work in startups, right? So startups are just tech businesses that you can launch, and I think the biggest use of AI right now is startups are great, but the main thing you have to reach is product market fit, right? When you find out, you build a product, and then you find out if there's an audience for it or not. But it takes sometimes you have to create like 10 different products and iterate 10 different times before you find something that actually sticks. And that process of developing the software each time is what takes a long time, right? So before this was what happening. Somebody decides they want to launch a startup. They spend 3 months building an app. It doesn't work. They iterate another month to change it to something else. It doesn't work. Keep going. Maybe after a year, they finally find something that sticks with the audience. And then they can get like money invested into it and blow it up. Right? Once you find that product market fit and you can sense it and like you can blow it up. But this iteration process just takes so long. And because of AI, that iteration process has just extremely shrunk. That's one part of it. And the other part of it is you used to need to be technical to launch a startup. You need to know how to code. You don't need that any longer to get your MVP or your minimal viable product prototype out there.
Yeah.
And that's the biggest use of AI. And I think where the biggest opportunity is for everybody right now.
Wow, man.
So basically, like, okay, we got to dumb it down because we got to dumb it down a little bit because I'm like, okay, how do we actually monetize this? So let's say I want an app that I don't know, like if I wanted to build Uber, let's just make it that way. I can tell ChatGPT, hey, I want to build an app like Uber. Where do I start? It'll probably tell me to open this. I don't know, this thing where you put the code in and it'll give me the code.
Yeah. Okay, so let's break it down.
Okay.
Let's not do Uber. Uber's a little bit of a more complicated product.
Too complicated. Like,
let's take it down one notch. Like,
sure.
What are some businesses that you've worked on?
Like how about food app? No, food app.
Sure.
Okay,
Boba shop. Boba shop.
Ordering, like online ordering.
Online ordering for your boba shop.
Yeah.
Sure.
Oh, actually, this is something I really do want. I do want this.
Okay.
And I know that they're already being done, but if AI can help me, that'd be great. So all my stores, I have physical locations. Right. I want to build an app. Like Phil's Coffee has an app. Blue Bottle has an app. I want ChatGPT to make the app for me.
Okay. Yeah. Perfect. So the tool that I'm using right now is called. There's 2 tools out there that's pretty good. One is called Lovable. One is called Bolt. Right. And these are tools that on their backend they're basically using ChatGPT, but I won't get too much into the technical details, but basically it's a tool and it builds the entire app from scratch. So in one prompt, you can go and like type in, I want whatever, an app for my coffee shop, and it'll generate all of it for you. It's clickable, all of it's working. To get it to production to the point you would want to put it out to your users, you have to like edit it and iterate it and make it the way you want. But that's all done through the chatbot in like plain English, right? Wow. It still takes quite a bit of work. Yeah. I would estimate it takes like 10 to 20 hours of chatting with it.
Yeah.
But before it was taking 3 months.
Yeah, right? I was just going to say that, man.
Exactly. But and it's in plain English, so you don't need to be technical to be able to do it.
Is this backend software, is it free?
It's you can chat with it 5 chats a day for free, and then after that I think it's $25 for 100 chats, and you can keep scaling it up as you go.
That's not bad.
All right.
I
mean, like 100 apps and like
I was gonna hire somebody from Pakistan, but I think they would charge me like a few grand, so same thing.
Yeah. I mean, they're probably gonna do the same thing. They're just gonna put in the AI and give you the $3,000
Pakistan or Serbia, one of those 2 places. But I'm thinking, okay, so I'm gonna really do that now because I think there was another software that was going to charge me, but they wouldn't charge me monthly. So why would the hell would I do that when I could just build it one time and it's for our stores, makes online ordering a lot easier. Now, I wonder if I can make it integrated to Square app, the Square site.
I don't know about
the back end. You don't think so, huh?
So for Squares, you can build just no-code apps directly on Square, correct? They have like templates and stuff.
Square is like like when the credit card processing.
You're talking about.
I needed to go there so that people can pay.
Okay, I see. I haven't set up Square payments. I've set up Stripe payments. So I know you can do Stripe. I'm pretty sure you could do Square as well.
They have a code on Stripe itself. I think through the FAQ, like you can copy the code there.
Guys, if you don't know, this is Mia. Mia actually she takes all my ideas and she executes them. All right, so that's why I needed her. I needed her on the podcast because this is more of a learning for Brian, and then you guys can learn too and build some cool apps. So. We're going to put those 2 things in the chat box. It's called Lovable
and Bolt.new.
Bolt.new, and they both do the same thing.
Yeah, they're basically identical copies. So
how do you know?
I would recommend Lovable.
Lovable?
For the you viewers out there.
Okay, that's really cool. And so, dude, tell me some your other passions that you're doing. So right now you got this YouTube channel where you're going around, you're interviewing people.
Yeah.
And then you build out this whole, you basically build it out for them.
Yeah.
And you give it to them for free.
Yeah. So
tell me about that. That's cool.
So I think even if I say right now you can build a software super easily, people normally think you're scamming them or like you're lying to them. So I wanted to show people like, no, this is actually, you can actually do this. So I just went outside, got a microphone, went up to people, and I said, hey, what's your app idea? And I went up to like 50 different people, and then I took the 2 best ideas I got, and I didn't even build it. I didn't want to be the one building it because, you know, like I know how to use AI.
Yeah.
So I got 2 people, and I assigned each one of them to one of the apps, and then I taught them from scratch, like how you would build it using these no-code software. So I used Lovable to build it. Mm-hmm. And we built the app over a month. They got it finished. And then I went back to the people and showed them the app and just like gave them the entire software to have.
Wow, what an idea, man.
And then, so how much did that cost you?
So
because it's like 25, you said it was like 25 prompts for $25, something like that. So what did you end up spending for those 2 apps?
Basically just $25. So you need $25 for the Lovable tool. You need to buy your domain, which can cost you anywhere from like $5 to $100. And then you need a Cursor subscription. That's another AI subscription. That's helpful. That's maybe $20 a month, but that's basically all of the costs for it. And then as you get more users, there's like server costs that go up, right? If you're using ChatGPT on your website or some AI, there's going to be some costs associated. But if you have users, you're making money. So they're just like paying for themselves at that point, right?
Yeah.
Damn.
Wow, that's crazy.
Money, I mean, like, the reason why I'm so intrigued with AI, guys, is because, you know, I have all these brick and mortars. I'm in real estate. It takes a long time for me to make money.
Yeah.
It takes me 6 months to make money on my flips. Granted, the flips are 6-figure paydays, but still 6 months. I fell in love with the recurring revenue model because that's how the VA Hub is set up. Mm-hmm. Every month it comes in. But I'm like, damn, VA is still, I still got like over like a few thousand people in the VA Hub. It's like a lot of people, right? Mm-hmm. Whereas with software, you build it once, assuming, you know, as it gets bigger, you probably just have to pay more server fees.
Yeah.
But you don't have to have like 50. I have like, to run the VA Hub, we have over 80 something employees. To run 50 Hills, we have like
70.
Yeah, I don't know.
Just like 70 plus now.
The coffee shops, I have probably like between all locations, 50 something and 40 something employees. Yeah. It's a lot of people.
Yeah.
Right? And then you know what got me really excited? To let you guys know how my brain works, I think they were going over like companies and how much revenue they were making and how many employees they had.
Oh, yeah.
I don't know if you guys saw that. It was like and it was like shoot. I don't know which, I'm gonna butcher all the examples, but it was like some company had 50 employees and it was doing $2 billion in revenue.
So the app that I just mentioned, Cursor, that was on that list. I think they had 20 employees and doing over $1 billion.
Wow.
Yeah.
Jesus.
20 people, $1 billion revenue.
That's pretty good. I could share that with like
net
10
worth,
people.
whatever it is. It doesn't matter.
Yeah.
But I'm like, well, damn, I got like hella more people than that, and I'm not doing $1 billion, you know. So I'm like, okay, we gotta spend some energy and effort on this because you don't want to be a dinosaur. We get stuck in our ways, and we're like, okay, like this is what happens when the first iPhone came out, and all the guys were like, that's stupid.
Yeah.
But the people that the early adopters of them, like one of my clients who is I sold him a house for like $2 million way back when. He was one of the first people to play with iPhones, and so guess what? He made an app that did nothing really, but he made a couple mil off.
Oh yeah.
The app was useless. I mean, now he's probably not making anything off the app, because it was like in the beginning that any app you had, you sold them for like $5, $4. Yeah. People bought them all day.
Yeah, it's crazy to think that like back then, like the coin flip app was like the Chat GPT back then.
Yeah.
Holy smokes!
So you get what I'm saying? Like, get ahead of it, get early.
Yeah,
timing is very important in business. The earlier you are to something, the more money you can make. But also sometimes you get lucky. I get that, but that's why we're gonna push, and that's why I'm so happy to have you on.
Yeah, man, guys. Well, we're having such a great episode. I got some fire questions about Ask, but we're gonna thank the sponsors really quick.
Shout out to our sponsors. We got Sunset Drip for the energy, and we got Skull Candy for all the headphone needs. And as you know, we got headphones on his head right now, and so you know when we run these podcasts, it's very important that we can hear and making sure the sound quality is good. So without further ado, ask the question.
Sorry for the commercial, guys. But anyways, let's get straight into it, man. So Dude, you're just putting so much game, and I hope everyone, all the listeners, are jotting down notes because I'm build an app in like 10 seconds with all this knowledge that he's given. But I want to ask, so I personally feel like with AI, we all know that AI just reduces the time to get whatever project you need done, right? It makes your business simpler, easier, and you get stuff done quicker. But I want to ask, like, for people actually, how do they make money with AI? Like, actually, like, what can they do if they're like someone like you, right? Who's like, hey, I want to make money with AI. What are my options on this journey?
Yeah, that's a great question. And one thing I want to say is, like, especially online, you see every podcast, every YouTube video, people talking about how do you make money online. And a lot of it is get rich quick schemes.
Yeah.
This is not one of those. Like, I'm in this space and there's definitely a huge opportunity right now to make money off of this. And you might think like there's no way I could make an app in 10 to 20 hours with AI and sell it and make money. You can. Like, I'm teaching in class right now at Berkeley, and there's somebody in my class who within their first month is doing $8,000 of monthly recurring revenue.
Wow.
She had a technical team before that wasn't able to build her product. Now she's building her product and she's never coded before in her life.
Wow.
Right? So this is something that's like real. The opportunity is out there. Now, in terms of how to best capitalize on it, I would say one of two methods. The top method I would recommend is teaming up with an influencer, right? Because if you can build these apps, you have the product, you need the people to sell it to. So if you can find an influencer, they probably know some problem that their audience has or something that they want to sell to them. You team up with them, you handle the technical side, you build for them, they promote it, and you're guaranteed to make money, right? If you don't want to team up with an influencer, or you don't have somebody that you can reach out to, which I would just like, even cold messaging, I think you could get somebody to work with you. Maybe they're smaller, but you can get there. Then I would recommend like finding a problem to solve, right? Any problem out there, especially for businesses. There's just so many applications of AI that are available that could speed up businesses. But we just need more people building the implementations for it and doing that. So find a business who you can do that for.
Wow, I like that, man. So I just want to keep kind of going a little bit because what I've heard, there's something that I heard like Ryan Panetta mentioned that, or who was it? I don't know. I forgot who, but they were mentioning how, people nowadays are using AI with Zapier and then just building like the back end connections for people and then selling that service for like $5K.
Yeah.
All through just like the AI bot in Zapier.
Yeah.
Right. So I think that's exactly what he's talking about. Sometimes you could just go into a business, be like, hey, I'll clean up your back end, make it easier, and just pay me this. Right. And then you let AI do it, you'll be done in 10 minutes.
One of the things you got to find out what problem on the back end you're solving. So I mean, that's still, you still got to use your brain. Like AI is great, but you still have, it's the person entering the prompt is what's gonna get you the best results. Even like I'm playing with ChatGPT, the better questions you ask, the better the answer is.
For sure.
So that's something that's pretty cool. I'm trying to think now, like what else we can build. What is she building? The one that's making $8,000 a month. Can we share that?
I don't know how much she wants to share about it, but it's a tool for venture capitalists to speed up their process for finding companies to invest in.
Oh, sure.
And then what are they? And then what are they paying her? Like a monthly fee every month?
Yeah.
Jeez, G's. And then her profit on 8,000, probably what, like 7?
Sorry. Okay. Oh, I was wrong. I think she has $8,000 paid to her already. She's doing $2,000 a month. I just remembered.
Okay.
I misspoke on that. But still, in
Okay,
the first month,
I
that's
mean,
crazy.
in a month to
I'll
just
take 2,000 pays for my Cadillac outside.
I mean, it's, theoretically, that's lifetime too, right? Like,
well, you got to keep them happy. You got to keep them in the software. I mean, there's so much. I mean, you still need business. You still need all the marketing. You still need the salespeople, the setters, the closers, and all that stuff.
Yeah.
So it's more to it, but at least now you can build a product so quick.
Yeah.
And guys, to give you guys context, he's talking about building this thing for, I don't know, let's call it $1,000 even. And that should be plenty of them, like, because you're probably going to mess up and put all the wrong prompts. He's probably more efficient. I'm probably going to have to do like 3 times the prompts, right? So my first coffee shop was $150,000 investment. My second one was $310,000. My third one was $35,000. The boba shop was $35,000. Got cheaper, got better because I was taking over dead spots. But regardless, to start a business before, 6 figures. Now, 5 figures. Really.
Yeah.
$100.
Yeah,
$100.
So I mean, you guys got to jump on this. Jump on it. Mia, what do you want to know about AI? Because you got to build this.
I have a question. So, you know how we're talking about like how AI can do a lot of the things now. So where do you see like these software engineers still coming in, like in that sense?
Yeah, I think so. This isn't going to get rid of software engineers, right? There's still going to be software engineers. it's particularly good for business people because you can get the prototype, the first version of your app launch and start making money. But to maintain these softwares, it isn't you build it and you leave it there. There's always some software work that's involved. So as your company grows, if you have millions of users, you still need software engineers to manage and maintain these things.
Yeah.
But what's happening is just there's way less number of software engineers that you need now to uphold your business than before.
Explains the layoffs.
Yeah, explains the layoffs.
Well, I mean, I think it's like now with AI, is like if you sucked at your job, you're on the chopping block. But if you're good, like the top guys are always gonna have a job. The top lawyers are always gonna have the thing. The top doctors, the top surgeons. But definitely, if you were just like barely scraping by, you're probably out of here.
Yeah, 100%. The junior level engineers, like the entry level jobs, everybody's predicting that they're pretty much going to be gone pretty soon. Yeah.
Damn.
I was listening to Zuckerberg the other day. He says already 80% of the code that they produce in their company is probably AI written, I think.
Wow.
Yeah. So it's just insane.
Absolutely insane, man.
What other questions you have, Mia? You're more like, I like this.
So you came from Sket,
Yes.
right? I'm sure you've built your own startup.
Yeah.
For sure, if you took the course.
Yeah.
So what made you go from like wanting to do your own startup and then now you work at Coinbase, or would you ever think about starting your own thing again?
Yeah. That's a great question. So SCET, by the way, is UC Berkeley's department for entrepreneurship and technology. I ended up going to Coinbase. I love Coinbase. I actually think they treat their employees so well. There's good, and I'm remote, so I can move around, do different type of things. So I want to stay here for a long time, but it's not my passion particularly, right? And I'm doing it because of everything that happened in my family's teddy bear business to like financially support. But yeah, I definitely want to build my own thing. I am building my own thing on the side now. It's not a software business, but so my passion's always been in education. Like since I was younger, I've wanted to teach.
Yeah.
So now I'm working on something called AI Scouts, which where it's like Boy Scouts, but you teach AI to kids, and that's the product that I'm working on next.
That's really cool.
Wow.
And education I think that's the newest form of education. The school systems, I don't think that people are probably going to start leaning away from it.
Yeah.
Because it's like you get a degree, but it doesn't guarantee you a job anymore.
Exactly.
Whereas what you're teaching them, I mean, these kids can probably, if they can learn this stuff, they're going to be building like a bunch of modules and stuff like that. So
100%. Because the AI that is being taught in schools right now is how to build AI, right?
Yeah.
But that's most of the jobs are going to be on how to use AI and apply AI, not how to build the AI.
Yeah.
And that's where my focus is, on teaching people how to apply the AI rather than building the systems from scratch.
Wow.
I mean, what's the point of building it now, right? Like, because it doesn't, like,
Yeah.
we already have enough.
Yeah.
Like, how many more do you need?
gotta
Gemini,
utilize it.
ChatGPT,
Yeah, just gotta
all the other
utilize
stuff.
it.
Like, they're all learning from each other.
Yeah.
What's I remember early on. So this isn't the first time that AI. I mean, about 2 years ago, I was supposed to invest in somebody in AI, but I was just too new. And honestly, glad I didn't. I don't think their shit went anywhere, but but maybe they're still working. I don't know. They were like, it's closed web or open web because you don't want to just let this AI run loose because it's like Terminator and it'll take over the world. Is that something?
So
or is that fake?
There's closed source and open source.
Yeah.
Open source basically means that everybody can view your code out there. So
Okay.
whatever the entire code for your software, somebody could come and just copy it. And then there's closed source where nobody can see your code. So that's kind of what they're talking about in terms of AI running wild and like taking over. That's not going to happen. Like AI doesn't have a mind of its own. That's
But what if it develops a mind of its own?
it's you just press the power switch, you pull the plug on it. It's dead.
But right now, so like ChatGPT searches the web, so it's always constantly learning.
Yeah. So it's smart. It's constantly learning, but like some people think AI is gonna take over the world or like have you. No, because you can just pull the plug on it. It's not gonna run
what
loose on
plug?
itself. Just on the ChatGPT servers, you go over there, you pull it.
Yeah.
But what if it moves its brain from that server to another server, and you don't know what server? So what are you gonna do? Unplug the whole server in the the world?
Maybe when the robots come out.
Yeah. Yo, Brian's been watching too much sci-fi movies recently.
Let me get this straight. If they're so smart, it could technically write a code to take over all the Teslas. That's why I don't drive a Tesla. Right?
Maybe you're onto something.
I think so.
Huh?
I think so.
It could.
It could if someone decided to be like,
Yo.
I want to
Let
kill
me-
everyone in the Tesla.
I don't have my phone, but I'm gonna ask ChatGPT later, like, what's stopping you from taking over all the world's computers and
It's gonna be like Sepehr told me not to.
If there's an evil person behind the AI, it can happen.
Yeah.
But it's like the evil would have to root in a person trying to use the AI for
Oh,
evil.
okay,
Otherwise, like somebody has to trigger that. Otherwise, it's not going to go on its own and try to do
Yeah.
this.
We never know though. Still got a couple years, in
Yeah,
the world to
All right,
learn
well,
that.
that's cool. I don't know, man. This is crazy.
I just want to ask a random question, man.
Yeah.
Like, what do you feel like with the Chat GPT boom? Obviously, everybody's using it more, but I feel like it's making people rely on it too much in terms of like information and not letting themselves think. Do you feel like that's like happening, or what's your opinion on that?
Yeah, I think it's definitely happening, but I also think that's okay. You just adapt to it. Sam Altman, I was listening to him, and he was saying that up till this point in society, IQ pretty much has been the most valuable asset. That's the furthest you get, and that's gonna change.
You know what's crazy though? Before I forget this, I'm gonna tell you something right now. It does make people seem and appear smart until you actually meet them in person. Yeah. And then you realize like you don't have it's not edited.
Yeah,
okay.
sure.
It's like you're not reading off a teleprompter, you're just an idiot. Like it's good.
Yeah.
But people can definitely see through it. Yeah. I've seen it. I'm like, that guy is awesome. That guy knows how to speak. Yeah. Dang, he's like he articulates so well. He's on top of his point, like, just really good. And then I go talk to him in person. I'm like, what the hell happened? Yeah. ChatGPT.
Yeah.
I'm like, this guy can't even, you can't think, you can't speak. I'm like, okay, I know that all that shit was just a robot.
Yeah.
So.
Well, what were you saying though?
Yeah, sorry.
No, it's basically, this hasn't happened yet, but I think Sam Altman's point was that basically IQ isn't going to be the thing that's most valued in society. It's not going to be the smartest people. It's going to be some different skills that we're going to need. I think the biggest one is just agency, like basically the hustlers, people who are willing to do the most, because you can do so much with AI. It's just who can get up and do the most out there.
Yeah. No, that's interesting. I feel that makes sense. Like the IQ is kind of getting replaced, but I think something that's going to come up is like the IQ with the AI, right? That's like something that's like now we're all developing. It's like, how do we be better with the AI? How do we talk to it better, right? How do we just not rely on it to tell me the things, but let me put up 50% of my knowledge, match it with this, and
you still got to be smart enough to take the knowledge that ChatGPT has and articulate it in a way that will further advance what you're trying to do.
100%.
So it's like
100%.
Like I said, there's people out there and they sound smart, but they're just idiots.
I mean, like, let me just say, man, there's right. You could go to ChatGPT, right? To put in perspective for me, you could be like, hey, I'm trying to make a documentary. Give me the best documentary questions, right? And it'll put out just a standard set of questions, right? But if I ask ChatGPT, I'm like, hey, I'm trying to make a very moving documentary that's going to really tell this story where it's going to climax in the middle and then it's going to drop down very smooth. Give me the questions that would best fit this. And it'll give me a completely different thing, right? Yeah. And it's just that thing where if you're completely lazy and you're just like, just give me something, you're going to get like half-assed, right? Yeah. But if you think a little bit, I feel like you could push further the AI, You know
what I'm realizing too right now? Like the people that aren't like that clever, because I'm on ChatGPT so much and I'm asking it all these prompts. I'm just reading it, learning from my own personal stuff. But then I hear other people speak. I'm like, that was ChatGPT because it's using the same words. It's like it doesn't create. It doesn't like. It's not unique every single time. It's probably giving people the same prompts. And so I'm watching. I'm like, hey, wait a minute. I read that like the other day because I asked the same question. I'm like, okay.
You know what's the biggest skill way? It's the double dash. I don't know if you guys see that.
Yeah.
The double dash is there. You immediately, so if you're using it, tell ChatGPT, hey, don't use the double dash when you do my response.
Or just
train them to do it forever. Be like, never ever do the double dash in my ChatGPT. See, people don't even know that, man.
They don't because they're like, most of these guys who are using ChatGPT, they don't know how to write. Their grammar still sucks. And so I'm like, they're like, double dash. That looks about right.
Let me ask, man. Like, what is you probably heard this before, but like what is your personal opinion on people to this date in 2025 not using AI?
Yeah, I mean, you got there. Actually, I was looking at the stats. I don't know how much it's changed. I think I looked at it like 2 months back. There's only 60% of the population that's like still using ChatGPT or has used ChatGPT. So there's almost half the people haven't used ChatGPT. If you're watching this, the people who are watching this, I'm assuming everybody is kind of on that wave. The people who haven't just need to get on top of it.
They don't have a phone.
Yeah, maybe that's what it is.
Why? Like, why do you say like what is just like your sentence of like why people should be using AI?
It just 10x's you. Like whatever you were able to do before, you can do it 10 times more, 10 times faster, and you're gonna fall behind if you're not adapting to use it right now.
She has a dying question. Go ahead.
No more
question? Really?
Yeah, really.
What is your goal with this? Like, what do you want to? I know obviously you have to make money because people who say money's not important, obviously money would solve a lot of your family's problem right now.
Yeah. Money buys happiness.
It buys security. It buys a sense of peace.
Yeah.
A lot of it. Because I've been in turmoil. I mean, I don't know that situation, but there's been time when I was doing all these businesses, and that's why now I learned to take chips off the table and never go all in.
Yeah.
Something that I do is, if I have a couple million to play with, I don't put the full million. I mean, I'm not Elon Musk. When he did PayPal and he put everything back into Tesla, and then something else, I was like, I don't think I can do that. And that's probably why I won't be a billionaire. Like, yet.
Yeah, there you go. Don't put those limiting beliefs out there.
I'm a little bit more patient, you know, like I can't go to zero. Basically is what it is. I just can't go to zero. I've got kids and stuff like that. So I'm taking chips off the table. If I got, let's say, $100, I'm only gonna play with 50.
Yeah.
The other 50 has to stay in a savings or something like that. That's my tip for you guys listening. Like, but there's a time and a place. When you're young and you're broke and you don't have money, every dollar you make does have to go all in. Because if you only have 10 grand, like, trust me, 10 grand is nothing. You got to go all in on 10 grand. But then once you got $1 million, $2 million, you don't always need to go the full amount, right?
Yeah, 100%.
Yeah.
I'm in that all in stage right now. So like every hour of the day I'm working. And then my plan to make money, I guess, mine's more through education, not building a startup. Like I could go that route, but I'm also just really passionate about education. And it's like
education, I mean, number one, it helps a lot of people, but you can make a lot of money, especially with like the space now.
Yeah.
Tony Robbins is basically education. Dave Ramsey is education. And you want to know what their revenues are? It's like 700 million a year or 300 something million a year.
Yeah.
So it you know, I don't want to say get rich off of teaching people, but if I'm going to be a teacher, that's the route I'm going to go. I'm not going to go teach at a public school.
Yeah. I mean, I'm teaching at a public school, I guess, right now. So, but I agree. I definitely
but you're probably learning
private,
and,
at the
you're
end
building
of it.
your credentials right now. Because I mean, when you say you teach at Berkeley, I'm like, damn. Right?
Yeah.
You say you teach at my son's elementary school, I'm kind of like, you know.
Exactly.
Sepehr, like, why the man? Like, what is your meaning for like making money and you know, making these financial goals? Like, what is the whole purpose for it?
My whole purpose of making money right now is just to like retire my parents and like help out with that situation and make it better. And then long term, money just buys you safety, right? And gives you options. So definitely want money for that. I'm not like a big spender. I don't care to get super rich, but I kind of sat down and thought to myself, if I had enough money to like cover my housing and my bills and everything like that, what would I do beyond that? And I would teach. So that's what I'm trying to do. Now, that being said, I want to try to get rich.
Yeah.
So that's why I'm trying to launch a business within teaching kids how to learn AI.
Definitely, man. Well, I definitely feel like you're going to get there, man. With all the stuff that you're doing, all the knowledge that you have, especially, you know, putting out and giving back to the community, man. Everyone knows, like, if you give, you help, you solve problems, like, the money will always come.
Yeah.
You know who you should pitch to?
Who?
DJ Diesel.
DJ Diesel, you should.
Who's that?
AKA Shaquille O'Neal.
He was like a TechCrunch like 2 years ago.
I remember.
He invests a lot in edtech.
Oh,
I don't know if you said in his like speech at the time.
I see. Shaq, if you're watching, please.
Well, hold on. Well, you got this thing that you're gonna do. Tell the audience, because you never know who's listening and if they can make this happen. So share with that.
Okay, cool. So like I said before, I'm building AI Scouts, which is like Boy Scouts, except teaching people how to learn AI. And my whole goal for this is to make it super fun and to make a lot of content around it, because I was thinking, how do you get kids involved? They don't care if you're a professor at Berkeley or if you know AI stuff. They care if you make YouTube content, you know?
Yeah.
They love that stuff. So I started to make content on the side of building out this curriculum so that the kids are actually interested when they sign up for it. And as part of that, and to like market it, I booked a flight to go to London. There's a YouTuber there called Simon Squibb, and he has like 4 or 5 million followers, I believe, and he funds people's dreams. He just helps people's dreams happen. So yeah, I'm kind of going blind, but I booked a flight all the way to London. I'm there for 2 days, and my goal is to just find him and pitch him my idea. I don't know if it's gonna work or not. Worst case, he has a doorbell that you can ring. It's a Ring doorbell, so like the video is up, and then I'm gonna pitch my idea to the doorbell and see how it goes, and let's see if he funds it and makes it happen.
Can we hear the pitch?
Yeah. So I mean, I don't have like a proper pitch ready, but
hey, you got to start somewhere. Let's go.
Yeah. So basically,
I'm Mr. Squid.
Okay, Mr. Squid, let's go. So what happened was this idea actually started because my parents asked me, hey, can you check out the courses that your brother is learning from and see if they're any good? Because they pay like so much money they spend over like $1,000 a month on my brother's courses. And I went and looked at them, and it's just like the content isn't up to date, and he's just behind the camera, like falling half asleep. The teacher doesn't even notice, right? So then I was like, okay, let me find out some other courses that I can sign them up for in AI. And I actually couldn't find anything that I felt was right for him. So I was like, okay, I'm going to build this. And the goal is to make it fun. I think I do a lot of research around education and learning, and I'm reading a lot of books around the research and learning. And I think the issue is we optimize for making people retain information as quickly as possible. So when we do research studies, it's like, I had a class, I taught this kids these things. Did he remember it after class? I don't think that's what's most important, because and tell me if I'm right or wrong, but like the people I've seen succeed in life are the people who are super passionate about something and just stick with it longer than anybody else would. And eventually they find their way to success.
Agreed.
So that's my
with the exception of passion, but they stick at it long enough.
Yes, exactly.
And they become good at it. But, passion, I mean.
True. Yeah. Passion can be a way that somebody sticks at it long enough, but the main thing is you stick with it long enough. Yes. Right, I agree. So my whole goal with AI Scouts is, one, to teach AI and teach how to apply AI, not how to build AI, because that's the most important thing that's out there. And 3 is teach through passion and make kids passionate about what they're doing. So even beyond the class, they continue to work on this, and it actually becomes something that they benefit from in the long run. So we're trying to make it fun, modeling it kind of after Boy Scouts, but for AI. Instead, we're going to have like basketball jerseys that they have, and like each AI thing that they learn, earn a little badge that they can stick onto their jersey and like move up in the ranks. And the nice thing about it is every kid is basically going to be launching a startup in the course. So I'm teaching like middle schoolers how to launch a software and then try to monetize it. And we'll see how it goes, but we're launching next month. And then my release video is going to be this Simon Squibb pitch.
I can probably see this monetizing in multiple ways. Obviously, parents paying for their kids to learn from you, $1,000, $2,000, whatever. It was a recurring revenue, great. But also now I see VC backing you.
Yeah, I do too.
Because or private equity or whoever it is, and they're looking at that and be like, well, if that's the generation that's going to be next, those ideas are all like you get that fresh picking.
Yeah, 100%.
And they're gonna be like, well, how do I work with you? Well, you got to give me the X amount, pay this membership.
Yeah, and then you get like X percentage of whatever startup comes out, Fuck, dude.
100%. That's good.
You're sign me up.
Yeah. I had that idea too, but you like right away when I gave you the idea, you went all the way there.
I'm just
awesome.
like, you know what? I'm just So tell me more. What does it cost to launch something like that you just talked about? What's the startup cost on that?
For the
AI Scout.
It's not like I filed for a trademark that's like $300.
Yeah.
It's a lot of my time investment in building the curriculum, building the website, and all of that. In terms of just straight up costs, the main cost is going to be renting out a place to have the kids coming to.
You're actually going to have them come in. It's not going to just be virtual?
I have 2. I have a virtual version and an in-person.
Oh, wow.
That I'm launching. And then the second part is right now I'm ordering a bunch of like different jerseys, finding manufacturers to get the badges right.
Just don't use the same teddy bear company, okay?
But yeah, there's not a lot of upfront costs. All the costs would be covered by the admission fee that their parents would pay. Yeah.
What's stopping a competitor from starting up and just doing what you're doing? It's going to be based on basically your intellectual property, right?
There's going to be a lot of intellectual property, and I'm getting into content a lot. And I think the content is also going to be hard to replace. And getting kids excited about this, you need to have somebody who's pushing it. And I don't think somebody can throw money and come and build that super quickly.
Yeah. Agreed.
It's your brand.
Yeah.
Pretty much.
Well, I'm excited.
I love it, man. There's so many gems.
Get to working kind of right now.
Let's do it. Let's build the coffee app.
Something. No, actually, just in general. I mean, I'm just gonna now that I'm gonna go download that app and just start building everything. Who knows?
Yeah.
I'm excited. I'm really excited.
Dude, I'm pumped, man.
This is gonna give me my private jet. Seriously.
Hell yeah, man. Hell yeah.
Like we're gonna get a jet. I don't know why.
Well,
I think that's pretty much.
I think that was a great podcast,
do you have any
man.
other questions for him? I mean, dude, I'm more excited to get to work.
Yeah.
I hope you guys, the listeners, are getting that same kind of excitement.
Yeah. Let's give Sepehr a moment of time to motivate the people, man. What's your last thing you want to say to some hungry engineers out there, AI developers, the next generation of
just start. Like the only thing matters is that you start. This weekend you could have your software business launched, right? Just go and do it. You'll figure everything out along the way. There's nothing that complicated now, and if it is, you're gonna ask AI as your personal tutor to solve it for you.
Yeah, that was like the most like simplest motivation, but it's so true.
The most simple things are always the best ones. Complicated stuff just confuses people and they don't start. So I love it. I love it simple. Well, thank you so much, man. Appreciate you guys.
Thank you for having me.
You guys like that episode? Make sure you guys give him a follow. We're going to link all his stuff down below. How do they find you?
You can reach out to me on LinkedIn. And if you're interested in AI Scouts, you can search that up and look for the link for that for the wait list.
Awesome. Is there Instagram, TikTok? How do people connect with you?
Startup Sep on YouTube. Startup Sep is my handle that I go by.
Awesome, man. Awesome, guys. Well, we'll see you guys on the next one. Peace.